Well, my dear gardeners, welcome to another walking tour where majority of roses in my garden are opening their blooms. And this year I was thinking that Katrina rose will be blooming together with this gorgeous generous gardener here. Well, meanwhile, Katrina is just starting to open its blooms and generous gardener is basking in the sun because we took a tree here down, so there is more sun. I trained all the canes here and we have literally the wall of blooms, and the scent here is magnificent. We are expecting guests today, very important guests, and this rose is blooming for this wonderful person. The weather is gorgeous this week. We're expecting nice warm temperatures without any rains whatsoever. What a lovely coincidence, because my Lady of Shalott, its first blooms were beaten by the rain, and I must say that the first opening buds really never recovered. But generous gardener is lucky this year. Look at this. And some of the petals are already falling down, but it is just the beginning of the blooms. All those buds are going to open one after another. Just look at this glorious sight. Today in the morning I was walking near the side of my garden and I saw the larva of ladybug landing on my shoulder. I don't know from where this thing landed on me. But if you're not familiar with ladybug larvae, they look like little dinosaurs or little scary little creatures. And if people don't know what they are, they might think that they're bad guys. So let me see. So what I did with that ladybug larva, I put it on the buds where there were aphids. And the colony was big. So here's a video how the colony was today in the morning. Let me see where. So these are the buds. Let me see, where is that ladybug? Oh, she is even bigger. You see that? Right there, the black one. Not the ant, but the black black larva. And definitely less of all the aphids. I think that larva is hiding from the sun. It's afternoon sun right now. I called my kids because it's an interesting sight to see. So ladybug larva went straight to the aphids and started eating them one after another. I must say that ladybug's kiddos, I call them ladybug kids, they're quite, they have ferocious appetite and they can go through a lot of aphids a day. So I'm going to keep track of these buds and see what is going to be left of those juicy aphids by next morning, and I will keep you posted. Just a fun thing to look in the garden, to look for in the garden. And again, if we are using sprays which are killing everything around, those sprays will get rid of ladybug larvae, and we are not going to have natural good predators who are going for aphids in our garden. So hopefully this little guy will turn into a ladybug and will stay here near the generous gardener, create next generations, and my aphids will have local predators going fast against its green colonies, right? Look at these blooms. Because we took the tree down at the back, our mulberry tree, there is another rose which is blooming so lovingly this year for the first time. Let's go and see the blooms. It is another generous gardener. It never had a chance to really shine well because the tree branches were blocking the sun. But this year, for the first time, the branch was long enough to get all the way on the top, and now those blooms are going to knot down when they're ready to form the flowers, because nothing is blocking the beautiful sun here. And look at these gorgeous blooms. Again, the scent is marvelous. All right, let's go and see. Nothing is happening here. Boscobel rose is blooming. Boscobel rose suffered badly from rose slugs, and I didn't catch it on time. But let's look at the blooms. I usually, when the leaves are not really sightly, I pay attention to the blooms. Look at the color here. Very nice. Now let me update you what's happening here in this side of the garden. Bleeding hearts, I took them out, and I'm trying to raise here the plants which I raised from the seeds, and I'm not sure how this is going to work. These are pincushions deep farmer, and this time I'm protecting them from the rabbits with the help of caging, because look at this. This is a mess here. I was trying to oh gosh, these are little spikes which I picked up at the secondhand store, trying to protect my seedlings from rabbits and maybe raccoons, I'm not sure. It did work. Maybe I did it too late. They were eaten by rabbits, so let me see how this works. I really don't like how unsightly it looks here. I'm stuck on this area, you know? For several years already, I'm trying to invent here some sort of a beautiful garden story, and I cannot. I don't know why. Well, there's an update with Boxwoods. I am trying to make them all into a nice hedging, and you can see here finally something is starting to happen, right? I made them, I trimmed them, so they're starting to resemble some sort of a hedge. Maybe next year the growth would be more. I trimmed them, and I'm trying to develop 4 columnar growth on these boxwoods, and then a hedge just going around. And this rose, Parfuma rose, doesn't have any issues forcing itself through the hedge. You see here? Well, I'm glad. No bullying here from the boxwood hedge. And that big boxwood got replanted 2 days or 3 days ago. I should put a chair there because it's frying here in the afternoon sun, and water it in the evening, not to forget, because these beautiful evergreens are not telling you right away that they are stressed out, but then they are just going dead suddenly and nothing can be done about it. So on the place, so here was this boxwood, this big one right here. So I have a little stash of boxwoods growing on the side of my garden, and I replanted another one just right here. And hopefully this will be next year, after another trimming, some sort of a hedge. The new dawn doesn't even think to start blooming. Very interesting. And the beauty bush is still delighting us with its gentle, wonderful blooms. I must say that these blooms are not fleeting, as it was the case of the last year, maybe because beauty bush is so hydrated. And as usual, the blooms of roses, I don't think ever overlapped with beauty bush, but now they are overlapping. The generous gardener is in full bloom, and the beauty bush is still here. And look, this branch is cut. Why is it cut? Maybe it was dead and that's why I cut it. But it would be nice if it will go just like this, like a garland, right? Onto my abavites. I better clean them up from all the fallen blooms here. All right, let's go to the porch where the glorious Lady of Shalott is blooming, and there is a surprise new rose, apricot drift rose, and it is in its full bloom. Let's enjoy those wonderful blossoms. Well, Lady of Shalott is continuing its blooms, and sometimes instead of trimming, deadheading the blooms for them not to fall underneath and make a mess there and mess on the steps, I just collect them like this before they fall, and then later I just go in and do the trimming. Very often I did the snapping. I don't do it anymore. I just collect the petals, throw them here, and then Lady of Shalott looks so much neater. Isn't she delightful? Look how interestingly Lady of Shalott loses its orange color and fades into the soft pink. Very happy with Lady of Shalott this year. No aphids on its buds at all. I see a little bit of presence of thrips and not really a lot, and I really don't do anything to fight the thrips in my garden. I have a feeling, because I have so many ladybugs, I have a feeling that other good bugs are present and they are fighting thrips. They are notoriously difficult to fight with sprays, especially synthetic sprays, because they develop resistance to those. So my best advice would be, when you see the bud damaged by thrips, just take that bud off right away and throw it into the trash in the plastic bag for those little buggies not to escape, because they're very small and they are notoriously difficult to fight. And I see some little presence of them here and there on little spots on the outer petals of the blooms. Not much, not much. So the best advice for thrips, I would say, just to encourage beneficial insects in the garden. And you do that by not applying harsh sprays which are killing everything left and right, basically, because the bad guys are going to move in first before the good guys start to colonize your garden all over again. Look at this fuzzy thing. Interesting. I just planted them here. A nice little contrast between the mossy growth of these flowers, they're going to appear soon, and massive blooms of Lady of Shalott. This little guy, I'm not really happy about him, Boxwood. Suffered tremendously from leaf miners. I killed them all with horticultural oil and neem oil application. Aphids also damaged it, so you see all this unsightly damage. So I'm thinking to give this guy a trim, because all the bugs are dead inside, but they're still making the foliage very unsightly. And it doesn't really look good here. So I'm thinking to plant this guy into the garden together with all other plantation of boxwoods. This is green velvet boxwood. And then get a bushy boxwood and plant it here, which will be like, you know, growing from the edges of the pot, because this is such a great pot, right? So I think this would be the future plan for this pot. And then we have the rose, the new rose in the garden. A very strong colored rose. It's growing on me, the color of it. It shines very well in sunny weather. The strong sun has a tendency to bleach down, kind of take away the beauty from soft David Austin roses. But this, the drift rose, it's a landscape rose. It basks in the sun. It is so happy to show its color in the sun. I'm pairing it with green, soft green sedums here in this corner, probably only, away from all the soft colored roses. And I think we will be doing all right with this rose. In its own right, it is beautiful, and probably I will get adjusted to this rose, let's put it this way. But for gardeners who love bright colors, those neon colors, this is wonderful. This is a wonderful rose. Let's check what's happening with my herb corner, which I organized just recently. Well, somebody gave me a gift of this willow standard. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it is, I checked it online, and it is supposed to be 6 by 8 sub-shrub small tree. Maybe I will keep it in the pot, because it is hardy to zone 4, I believe, or zone 5. Doesn't matter, 4 or 5, it can overwinter in the container, so I have to find a good container for it and keep it outside. And because container will restrict the growth of roots, it will never reach its growing height if it would be growing inside the open soil. So here we go. The vegetable garden is doing good. It's a pleasure to come in. We did our pesto already with basil. Tomatoes are having first wonderful flowers right here. My husband just came in and took the tops of rosemary. Rosemary is very happy, and I am harvesting all the mint tops. This way my mint is going to be bushy, and we are having wonderful drinks with that added soft scent of water with mint. Now meanwhile, Coreopteris baby, I call it Coreopteris baby, I'm rotating it because you see how it is one-sided. It was growing towards the sun on this side, so I wanted to have a nice round shape, and you can see that sun is hitting it on this side, and the growth is starting to appear here as well. So maybe in several weeks I will have a well-balanced shrub. Thyme looks like it is always here, nicely blending together with the cage, the bird cage. Well, it's really not the bird cage, it's decorational cage, and I just put thyme inside. Looks really good, I think. Verbena has the same color, almost the same color as Lady of Shalott here, but I don't think they're clashing here. They coexist very well, and Verbena is developing a lot of new shoots. I think it is quite happy. I have to deadhead it. It has some spent blooms. Meanwhile, on the northern part of our garden, we have Aloha rose, and it is just starting to open its blooms. Well, Aloha rose is sharing this space over the fence with clematis, the white clematis. And look, all those blooms are facing up the sun. Oh, look how nice they are. Oh, hello, peekaboo. Beautiful blooms. But I still don't understand how to combine the growing habit of clematis and roses. Some of you are very successful in it. This is one thing which, well, maybe many things which I'm not getting in the garden. Blooms are already, probably thrips are here. You see this? The damage on the bottom petals, but no aphids here. Not a single aphid I see. Buds are nice and happy, will be opening up soon. Oh no, I see some aphids right here. All right, let's knock them off. Get them all out. And usually aphids are being patrolled by ants, because ants want to eat all the juicy, sweet substance aphids secrete when they're being tickled by ants. So I don't see ants here though. Let's go and check roll doll roses, which are blooming here together with peonies and Desdemona rose. Well, irises are finishing their blooms. Desdemona roses also need some deadheading. Generous gardener here on the fence is opening up, and look at wonderful blooms of roll doll roses, shaded. Right now it's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there is already shade here. No wonder this rose is not growing stronger. But I like the color of Nepeta and roll doll roses. Let's go and look at peonies. Look at these gorgeous things. Aren't they wonderful? Look at this generous gardener. The other day somebody was walking past my garden, and they said that it's a pleasure, it's like a retreat to go and have a walk past my garden. Oh, the petals are falling off. Even petals in their old age have nice scent on the generous gardener rose. Phlox is leafing out. They were attacked by rabbits. And now I cage them and I see new growth. Good, good, good. We need these phlox in the garden. They add such a beautiful blue color in spring border here. Meanwhile, in the front of the garden, Baptisia opened its blooms. Looks like Baptisia is not really struggling severely here in the shade. I almost took it out the other year, but now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, if Baptisia drops its seeds, I should just let it grow and colonize this area. And pollinators allow the flowers, so why not? Meanwhile, there is an interesting development happening in this corner of my garden. Well, this wall never sees the sun, so this area is cool and 100% shade. The same with this window near Katrina Rose. So what I want to do, I have a plan for these windows, 2 windows. I want to do a trick for the eyes, because when you look at this corner, your eyes are always falling on this unsightly contraption. And I have to have this corner. This is my watering station. There's no way I can make it more beautiful than it is now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to direct the eye for something more beautiful, like these begonias, which are going to be flowering here or maybe there in the shade. And I'm going to create windowsills. So this is my plan. I already, well, first of all, I'm going to pour sweet potato wine from its tight quarters. I'm sure the roots are overgrown horribly. And I bought these windowsills, and they are really for the fence. But I'm going to use them here near the window because they're narrow and they're going to hold 2 begonias. So there were 2 of them. One is going to hold maybe 2 begonias and sweet potato wine, and another will have this interesting looking coleus. I don't really like the color of it, but last minute I decided to go for it in the nursery. So probably this guy will go on this side, and I'm going to plant these not raised beds, window planters. And then I'm going to see what looks best. And I will keep you posted. So this is the project for this back corner. And when people come into the garden and they're looking into all this, they're not going to see this, but they're going to look at beautiful begonias and sweet potato wine and beautiful coleus, which is maybe not as beautiful, but you know what? I was looking at the health of this coleus, and I said to myself, you look so good and healthy. You're going to thrive in my garden. So I got tempted. Well, temptations of going to the nursery, right? We are all well familiar with them. I will keep you posted on this project. Please do subscribe to follow what's happening with my garden, and happy gardening as always.